Urban local bodies, ULB elections, in Nagaland have been long overdue as the last polls were held in 2004. Elections to the state's urban local bodies were cancelled, after opposition to the reservation of seats led to large-scale violence, and claimed 2 lives in 2017. Tribal traditional bodies, exclusively run by men, are opposed to 33% reservation for women in elections to civic bodies. Article 234(t) of the Constitution, which provides for 33% reservation for women in local body elections, would infringe upon Naga traditions and customs. The elections for urban local bodies, in Nagaland slated to be held on the 1st of February 2017 were postponed in the light of violent protests. Nagaland government is now ready to implement a 33% reservation for women in the civic body polls. ULB polls have been a subject of controversy in Nagaland. In 1992, the Constitution amended to provide 33% reservation for women in municipalities. In 1993, Article 243(t) of the Constitution, which provides for 33% reservation for women in local bodies, came into force. In 2001, Nagaland passed its Municipal and Town Council Act, but did not include the reservation provision. The civic body elections were first held in the state in 2004, in accordance with the Nagaland Municipal Act of 2001. In 2005, the Guwahati High Court, acting on a petition, directed Nagaland to include women reservation. The state government amended its Municipal Act and included the provision. In 2006, the Nagaland Municipal Act of 2001 was amended to include a 33% reservation for women, in line with the 1992 constitutional amendment. In 2009, even after this, the state government could not conduct fresh elections to ULBs, due to opposition from tribal bodies. In 2011, Naga Mothers Association, NMA, received a favorable judgment from a single-judge bench of the Guwahati High Court. In July 2012, a division bench set aside the 2011 single-bench judgment. In September 2012, Nagaland Assembly resolution opposed 33% quota. In November 2016, Assembly revoked its resolution of September 2012. Many Naga groups contend that the reservations are in contravention with Naga customary laws, as enshrined in Article 371(a) of the Constitution, which accords the state special status and protects its traditional way of life. Nagaland is a special state under Article 371(a). It gives them special status to safeguard their traditional laws, and according to their tradition, women are not allowed at administrative posts. In February 2017, as the Nagaland government tried holding the elections, as per a Supreme Court directive to hold elections with 33% reservation for women, the state was convulsed by violent protest that led to 2 deaths, and ouster of the then Chief Minister, T.R. Zeliong. Women's groups like the Naga Mothers Association, NMA, stand on the other side of this debate, and have fought a long legal battle for elections to be held. They argue that reservations do not infringe upon Article 371(a) of the Constitution. Article 371(a) related to laws made in the Parliament, while the reservations had been effected through a constitutional amendment. The contention around the polls led the Nagaland government, in December 2009, to indefinitely postpone municipal elections, which were due in 2010. Despite the High Court directing the government to hold the elections in 2011, the Nagaland Assembly in 2012 adopted a resolution rejecting women's reservation in ULBs. In October 2021, a committee was formed by the state government to review the Municipality Act 2001. In February 2022, the Supreme Court rapped the Nagaland state government for delaying the elections, saying that an important aspect of gender equality seems to be getting postponed. In March 2022, the state government convened a meeting with all stakeholders, including civil society organizations, churches, tribal bodies, political parties, and NGOs, and unanimously adopted a resolution to hold ULB polls. Article 371A deals with the special provisions with respect to the state of Nagaland. Article 371A, Clause 1 Clause B, the Governor of Nagaland has special responsibility with respect to law and order in the state, so long as internal disturbances caused by the hostile Nagas continue. For instance, under Article 371A, Clause 1 Clause B of the Constitution, important functions like transfer and posting of officials, entrusted with the maintenance of law and order, often above the district level, will be with the approval of the governor. The tribal bodies protested loudly as soon as the elections were announced, and threatened candidates who intended to file nominations that they would be excommunicated from their respective tribes. The Naga Hoho, the body that represents the state's 16 tribal groups, contends that the reservation violates the safeguards to the tribal customary laws provided by the Constitution's Article 371A. Coming under pressure, some candidates did not file nominations, and some others withdrew their papers. When the state government refused to call off the elections, the tribal bodies announced a ban from January 28 to February 1. They enforced the ban across Nagaland, although elections took place in several places on February 1. Meanwhile, on January 31, 2 persons were killed in Dimapur, the commercial capital of the state. Things soon took an ugly turn, and the Nagaland government declared the elections null and void. But even before the ban call, the focus had started shifting from women's reservation to issues of taxes and land ownership, contained in the Nagaland Municipal Third Amendment Bill 2016. The women's rights groups in the state argue that since municipalities and town councils are not customary institutions, women should be entitled to the reservations in this urban local bodies, mandated by the 74th Amendment to the Constitution. At 76.69%, women's literacy in Nagaland is far above the national average. Naga women work in fields, excel in business, and as academics and professionals. But customary laws prevent them from claiming rights to land, or inheriting ancestral property. Since Rano Messi Shaiza was elected to the Lok Sabha in 1977, no Naga woman has made it to parliament. It is unfortunate that another chance to resolve these contradictions has been lost. The Nagaland government has decided to write to the center, demanding that Nagaland be exempted from Part 9A of the Constitution. If Nagaland is exempted from the review of Part 9 of the Constitution, Naga women will have absolutely no hope of entering into and participating in decision-making bodies. Reservation for women is necessary in patriarchal societies, like Naga society. For instance, where there is a historical culture of inequalities, even though Nagas don't practice sati system, female feticide and infanticide, and do not believe in dowry, or the caste system. In my opinion, there is no wrong in providing 33% reservation to women folk in our state. Women reservation for municipal elections is a progressive step. Even though women are treated equally in our society, they need some handholding areas like electoral politics, where they have not ventured in the past. It has been amply demonstrated all over the world that their participation in leadership and decision-making positions can yield positive results for the society. Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below.